What up? What's good? Let's get it popping. Let's crack it in this piece. This video, we talk about the 7 reasons why the modern woman is undateable to most men. And this is masculine men. These are men that are in their alpha frame and they hold their masculinity to a high level, right? So we're going to get into it, what they do wrong and why they're undateable and what they can do to fix it as well. So listen, new to the channel, like, subscribe, comment below. When you hear your family, I got you. Don't go away.
I pray for my homies out there. Please God, give them strength. Please God.
So what are some of those things that women do that make themselves undateable? Take themselves off the market, whether they know it or not. Let's go at number one. Number one, opinionated, right? It's great to be opinionated. Opinions, listen, like I said before, we have a right to our opinions. It's an inalienable right. She has a right. We have a right. The idea, though, what women fail to realize, modern women, is that the opinion is free of judgment. It's her opinion, her view on a topic, an issue, or a problem. Same thing. His issue is a topic, his view, perspective, right? Nobody's right or wrong. It's a opinion, right? However, when women have these conversations with men about whatever the topic is, women that are toxic here and that are the modern woman's more masculine and it's in this frame where she has to be right. You know, you don't have to be right. We can agree to disagree. But women that are opinionated, they think they're right and their strong opinions, my opinion counts, and what I say is, it's the wrong approach, right? It makes you undateable because why? You're hard to deal with. You're not having a conversation, right? It's becomes more of a judgment call. Women hate to be judged. So why in the world would she judge someone's opinion? It's a point of view. Have a debate, have a discussion, and find a medium. Find a happy medium. You know where someone stands, and they know where you stand, and that's the end of it. If you don't agree, that's fine. But it's a conversation, a topic for conversation only. But when you have strong opinion and this and that, you take it to heart, and it gets out of hand and get loud and everything else, it's just offsetting. No one wants to deal with that nonsense. So we don't. She comes first. She puts herself as the priority. This is number 2. She puts herself as the priority. She's the boss bee. What she says go. She makes her own money. She drives her own car. She's independent. She's this. She's that. Great. I'm happy for her. I'm proud of her. Congratulations. In a relationship, though, you can't be me. It has to be a compromise because you're relating. It takes 2 people to relate. Okay, so there's compromise. No one gets what they all want. But the greater good of the union is a bigger payoff with the sacrifices and the things you give up for the other person because you want to. They mean more to you than your situation, putting yourself first. When it comes to a male, his priorities are job first. Why? He's the provider. Right? If he provides for the family, we're programmed through our DNA to be that way, to be the provider. So, you know, that puts you in a safe position. So you don't have to boss with me and fight up with the guy and run head up with him. He's trying to protect you. He's putting you first. He's putting the family first. He's putting the relationship. He's putting the job, keeps the family going. Her job should be the relationship, keeping the family tight, the nucleus. While he's doing that, he's protecting and providing. She's providing security for the offsprings to bring the gene pool forward. That's why we're both here, to bring the gene pool forward. We are hardwired for that innately. It's part of our survival mechanisms, and that's how it works. Now, you want to be single, don't have kids, and all that, that's fine too. But don't come back when it comes to the bills being paid and you want half of everything when you're making all the money or you're a boss bee. You should not want half of what the other man has. You have your own. Aren't you independent? So why would he have to pay half of what you, or if you break up or whatever, and you want half? It's not equal. It's not fair. So you guys got to know what you want. Oftentimes, women don't know what they want when it comes to this part. They're selective in their power move and their independence. So you have to you have to come to a common ground here and know what you want and stick to it. Don't flip-flop. Communication, proper communication, a dialogue, not a monologue. When you say what you want to say, a woman that just says her opinion, and then the guy gives her space to talk, and then he chimes in, she cuts him off. His turn to talk, she cuts him off. No, but I want. See, this is not communication. It's a monologue. It's a forced monologue between two people. It's not even a debate. So communication is a dialogue. One person goes, you go. He goes, she goes. He goes, she goes. It's a mutual respect, and it takes emotional patience and maturity to understand, to have a decent conversation. Most people that don't have conversations like this, women that can't communicate, don't have great relationships, period. They're often single and have many boyfriends, or haven't dated a lot, or been alone a lot, because they have poor communication skills, right? That and finances are the two deal breakers in most relationships. Communication is feminine energy. If you're becoming more masculine, you don't want to communicate. Femininity is about communication, bonding, connecting, bringing things together, providing, putting the family together, making sure there's peace and nurturing, all those nice nuances. Do men have those things too? Sure, they have some of those qualities, but this is feminine energy, is hardwired for connection, communication, bonding, okay? Now, woman that doesn't have that is a little more on her masculine, and there may be a social thing that happened, maybe some childhood trauma, whatever, hasn't been dealt with, but how she deals with life now is by communicating her own views, her own opinions, by cutting somebody off. She doesn't want to hear the truth. She doesn't want to face being wrong. Why? Because wrong equals failure, okay? The fear of failure is what we all are hardwired to run from or run to. It makes you do one or two things. So if she's more combative when it comes to communication, just like being opinionated, she fears being wrong, because being wrong is not being loved. Failing is not being loved, not good enough. All these things fall into the same emotional triggers that are mostly childhood triggers, or, as I said, growing up, relationships and dating. 4, listening. Listening skills is very important. Again, like communication, learning how to listen, hearing what someone's saying, and then responding first, and not just responding based on how you feel. You see, women operate through their heart, what they feel. Men through their head, what they hear, they think about it, and they speak. Not everybody else. Some guys just talk dumb stuff and all that. Some women most of them listen very well. Feminine women listen very well. They hear everything, they record everything in their brain here, and they go, no, remember last time you said this? 3 years ago, you said that. We was in the rain, we were walking, and this and that, and taking the bus, and you said this and that. And you go, how should you remember that? But women have the innate skill to remember communication, because why? Words mean more to women than it does to men, right? Women process words differently. They have more meaning, as opposed to when we say certain words, it doesn't mean much to us, but to women, that's why they remember it, because if they feel what you're saying, they feel the words, we think it, so that's the difference. But when women she has hard listening skills, she doesn't hear, and she says what she wants to say without really hearing what the conversation is all about. That's a problem. That means she's only waiting to say what she has to say, to speak her piece, and what you say after that doesn't really matter, because why? It's not registering. Oftentimes, women like this, they mislead the conversation. They mistake the whole communication platform of what we're talking about to somewhere else. This is why a lot of arguments start, because you said, no, I was talking about this over here. She says, no, you said that. No, I said this. So, and then, oftentimes could have been avoided, most communication, but it's frustrating when somebody doesn't listen to what you're saying. It's frustrating on both sides. But, again, we're talking about someone that's looking to date, trying to be dateable, not listening, being hard-headed, whatever. This makes you undateable. It's too much work. There's too many women out there that likes to listen, talk, respond, okay, have their opinions, all right? So, make it easy on yourself. Trying to do this, But most guys, we're not going to deal with all this nonsense. It's a lot to take in. Number 5, stubborn, right? She refused to concede to facts or concede to the truth. And she wants to hold on to her opinion, to her value, to her whatever her ideology is at that moment. She wants to hang on to it, no matter how false it is. She may know it sounds ridiculous, but she still has that stubborn mindset, and she's bullheaded. She doesn't want to change or to be agreeable. Why? Because she feels she's less than. She's going to feel as if what she says is not important. It's not significant enough. Even though she's wrong, she doesn't want to lose her power to some degree, or it's some kind of judgment of her being not smart or not as, with all her accomplishments, she's not on point. She still doesn't have it all together. She's wrong. Again, being wrong relates to being rejected, not loved, and not liked. All that. So, not included, I should say. So again, this is all about her fighting her belief system, her ideology, and hanging on to it, no matter how unreasonable it is. Again, this makes someone undateable. Number 6, humility, right? Accountability, not being able to humble herself enough to either change or acknowledge an error, or even acknowledge resolve, or come to resolve a problem solve, and kind of come to an agreement or be agreeable. Again, like being stubborn or bullheaded. This is not ideology. This is the fact that she has no remorse, no pride is stronger than her ability to apologize. She's so arrogant that apology is beneath her. So she goes on like nothing ever happened, just keeps carrying on life and not give that acknowledgement or humility of, you know what, maybe I was wrong, and I see your point. This could solve a lot of problems in life, but most modern women, they don't want to apologize. Again, this makes them feel less than what? Less than what? The power is knowing what your limits are, what you can do, what you work on, knowing your awareness of self, understanding, you know what? Learning something from somebody else, you can learn something from somebody else, right? That's humility. You know what? Oh, I didn't even know that, but I see your point now. Why? That helps her grow, eventually. Why? It may come up again in life. It's just like, you know what? Oh, no, I thought that way before. Now I think differently now. I know different, Bottom line, this is all about learning from each other. We're here to learn from each other, right, wrong, or indifferent. We're here to learn. So her closing off her mind to not acknowledge or be, have humility in a situation where she needs to have humility is, it's closed-minded. It stunts her own growth. Again, someone like this is not workable, man. She's not dateable, right? Number 7, power, right? She wants to be in power. So her being the boss bee, like I said earlier, with the man or whatever, she wants to maintain her power and be all power. So she wants to have power over all situations, whether that be financial, in the bedroom, lifestyle, whatever. And the man's supposed to contort himself and fall under that fray because she's the person that controls the narrative of the relationship, which is opposite of what she really, really wants. A woman that wants a man in her life doesn't want a man beneath her, because a man's going to be beneath her. She can't respect the guy that's going to be beneath her, especially being a boss bee. If you're the boss, what's the other guy? What's your boyfriend going to be? What's your husband going to be? If you're the boss, he's got to be an employee. Is that what it is? No. See, what they fail to realize, traditional women get this right. Traditional women understand. She says, no. I want a woman that's going to have the power. She could be a boss bee, but why not come home and be a boss couple? See, a power couple comes in when she knows the role, when she leaves all that nonsense and being a boss and VIPs, dated VPs and big companies and stuff like that, did all that. The thing is, what made them special is that when they came home, they didn't have to be that tough. It bothered them to be masculine in that sense. They were feminine, yes, sure, But they realized when they got home, they felt more comfortable putting on slippers, pajamas, kicking back and relaxing. Those are the situations I'm talking about, because she feels more in her essence then, as opposed to taking her job and bringing her job home. Ladies, if you're going to be a modern woman and you want power and all this, boss be all that, that's great. All for it. Got it. Educated, get it. However, when you get to that threshold, leave the crap at home. When you're at home, be at home. You're at work, be at work. Put your mask on. When you get to the threshold, go into work, put your mask on and go be the boss. Go do all that. But when you come home, take that stuff off. Detox. Take that off. Detox, jump in the shower, wash all that nonsense off, and come out feminine and be in your essence, because you want to be there. You're strongest in your feminine essence. Now, oftentimes, the modern women today are more detached from that feminine essence. Because why? A lot of times they come home alone. When you come home alone, who's there to be feminine for? You don't know. You're still walking around in work mode all day long. There's no masculine energy to really bring you into a frame where you feel the energy in the room, the masculine energy in the room. So you walk around in your frame, which is masculine because you were working and you were in the boss B routine, and you're now in your home and you're still in boss B routine. No one turned you down or turned you off or turned you on. Got it? So you don't see it. Sometimes it's not even your fault. It just happens to grow on you. This masculinity and this power grows on you. It's addictive. So if you find yourself wondering why you can't find somebody or find the right kind of guy, check yourself and see where your femininity lies, and see where you are as far as your these things on my list I just gave you here. Check these 7 things out, and if you say, you know what, I do 2 or 3 of these things, and start checking yourself and working on them, because you want to be peaceful. We want peace. We want you to respect yourself. Obviously, we want you to be aware. We want you to have power, be smart, be strong, be all that, be feminine, all that, right? But at the same time, you can't be happy if you're looking for a relationship with a guy that's going to work with you, is going to run the show, and you can be feminine around him. Think about that. Listen, guys, like, subscribe, comment below. When you hear your family, I got you. Excel, and I'm out.